So my name is Zakia Ringgold, and we are about to make our chocolate mint body whip body butter. Let me just make sure that we've actually landed. If you are brand spanking new, I would like to welcome you to the broadcast. My name is Zakia Ringgold. I am the owner and creator of Live Soap School, as well as naturalsoapbyzakia.com. And this broadcast is from Baraka Shea Butter, guys. They have actually gave me this recipe so I can actually try it out. And now we're also sharing it with all of you. So be sure, let me make sure that you click the like, subscribe, share, follow, whatever button it is that you need to press so that you get notified the next time that I go live. And if you have any questions, feel free to put them in the comments so I can actually say, what's up? Who's that? Contradictions over on the Periscope side. Very good to see you. I'm going to bring you right over there. And I know the question comes up often, so I'm going to tell you ahead of time. The recipe for this particular whipped body butter is available if you go to shore.b/live soap school. All of the recipes that we have been doing on this series are all there for you, so you can go right there and find the recipe. So I'm going to get rid of that overlay for just a second. So let's talk about what you are going to need in order to make this recipe. I have it laid out here on the table, but let's probably go through what it is that we're looking at. So we have some shea butter, of course. You can't have a body butter. You can't see nothing with my face right there in the way. Here, let's move my face. We're going to move my face to about right there. Okay. So, of course, we have some... we got 20... Okay, I'm not going to keep talking because there's a lot of you watching, but I don't know, for some reason, your comments are not showing up here for me. So, if you have not said hello, please do take a moment to type in the comments who you are, say hi, let me know where you're watching from so I can shout you out on the broadcast. I know it takes a minute. There's a little bit of a delay. But that's okay. I'm going to keep going, and once I see your comments, I will respond. So, of course, we need our shea butter. We've already measured the shea butter out. We've already measured all of the ingredients because otherwise we would be here all day and night, and ain't nobody got time for that. In my sweet baby brown voice, we have Janine Stacy saying hello. Let me figure out where the comments got to go. Right there. Hello, Janine, checking in from Australia. We also have Amanda checking in saying hello from Virginia. I feel like, Janine, I need to say good day, mate, whenever you guys are checking in from the Australia side. Very happy to have you here, and thank you for responding. All right, so aside from the shea butter, the next, not necessarily a butter, but we're going to be using some cocoa butter. We have Sir Du, hello from Topeka, Kansas, Allentown, PA, Mountain Evergreen. Welcome to the broadcast. I'm very glad that you guys could be here with me. So we also have the cocoa butter that we're going to be using. There's also coconut oil that's included in this recipe. Then we have some olive oil as well. And then I messed up a little bit. We were supposed to be using cocoa powder. Your girl ain't got no cocoa powder. So instead, we are going to be using some brown mica to give us the faux chocolate experience. But if you have cocoa powder, you definitely want to use that because that's going to enhance the chocolate aroma of the body butter. I'm going to get the color. I'm going to get some of that chocolate aroma from the cocoa butter. And then we're also going to be using some peppermint essential oil. You can see it here. So we have the peppermint essential oil, which is giving it the chocolate minty name for the whipped body butter. What else are you going to need? You're going to need some containers. So once you have your butter whipped up, you're going to want to put it in something so that you can either gift it or use it on a daily basis. Who's that? Stephanie saying hello from Nashville, Tennessee. Very good to see you. And it looks like Ivy Suds telling me you're somewhere in the bath and body industry. We love having handcrafted artisans on the broadcast. Do we have a written recipe? Great question. The recipe is available. Let me pull that up for you guys. Hey, don't check my nails. Okay, the recipe, let me pull me down. So the recipe is available by going to shore.b/live soap school. All of the recipes that we've been doing in these series are listed there, as well as additional resources for you. So check them out there. So you're going to need these 2 containers, guys. 2 containers, maybe 3. And I have some water boiling for us because we're going to use that boiling water to melt our oils and butters down. So I have this little container. Let's see. Let's move me again. I'm going to put myself in the pot. I'm going to go into the soap pot. I'm going to move that down so you guys have the link. Hey, loving me for life. Okay, now I do need to say this because sometimes we have people say, but what about the preservative? Wear your gloves. If you are making this to sell it, to give it away to family and friends, good manufacturing practices would have you wearing gloves. I'm going to be using this. My children are going to be using this, and my cousin is going to be using this. So I'm not going to be wearing gloves, but if you are making this to sell it and just getting in the habit of creating your own products from scratch, make sure you wear your own gloves. It's just a good idea. Additionally, we do not need any preservatives in this particular recipe because it's anhydrous, meaning there is no additional water being added to it. All of these are oils and butters and essential oils. So there's nowhere in here that we are introducing any kind of a water or an additive that contains water. So we don't need to include a preservative for this. The only thing that we really need to concern ourselves with is the life cycle, or I would say the expiration date of the oils. Let's see. Laura is saying hi. Cousin is here. But she's not here. She's actually taking care of some business, but she's here. Here. I was hoping she was here, but when she comes back later, we'll do another broadcast. Okay, we're going to pause for the cause. Loving Me for Life has sold her very first body butter yesterday, which requires some bit of celebration. Celebrate good time. Come on. It's a celebration. All that good stuff. Very, very happy for you, Loving Me for Life. Keep going. The first one is the hardest one to sell. After that, it's like clockwork. It's like clock. They gotta have it. So, let's go ahead and get started because I'll be here all day saying the same things and you'll be like, Zakia, come on. I got stuff to do. Alright, so we're going to first put our shea butter not on the table, but actually into the cup. And then we're going to also do our cocoa butter. We're going to allow these two to melt down. Now, as you can see, I get my cocoa butter in these little chunks, which just makes it a little bit easier to melt. This is the long method of doing it because if you have a microwave, you can definitely put it in a microwave. Let me move me so you can see. What we did was we placed our Pyrex container right on the side in this pot so that it could melt down. Hey Carney, how are you? Good to see you. And in between time, I'm going to take this container, figure out where I gotta put it. It's too much movement. Bam. Okay, right there should work. All right, so we're going to take our coconut oil and we're gonna put that in our bowl that was previously holding our shea butter, because we're going to combine our coconut oil with the olive oil, and if you have cocoa powder, which is what the recipe calls for, in this container so that we can mix it all together and then add it right into our melted butters that are going on right in here. Cherie, hey there! Wet and stormy. Yeah, it's a little rainy. Let me tell you, I'm in Philadelphia And we went from 92 degrees yesterday to about 63 degrees today. So Mother Nature is going through a little bit of a mood swing right now. I'm not too excited about that, but it's what's happening. So then we're going to go ahead and add in our olive oil right on top of that coconut oil. You could scrape it if you want to. I'm not in that much need of a scrape. And I'm going to slowly incorporate these two so that we have our coconut oil and olive oil very well mixed together. Let me see. I got a whole lot going on the screen. Yes, it completely dropped. It completely dropped. And I was like, what in the world is happening? All right. So here is our coconut oil. And now I'm going to use a dropper and grab some of this peppermint oil. And I would say this is about 3 milliliters of peppermint essential oil. But I always double up, so it's going to be about 6 milliliters. It helps cool the soap down, so not bad. Oh, yeah. That's true. Anything that encourages saponification. Right? Okay. So we have our essential oil in there. And as you can see, our butters are slowly melting down right over here. Now, I'm hoping that my live stream magic is actually happening in my freezer so that we can do the entire broadcast today, where you actually see what the final product looks like. Meaning I have pre-done some things for you all. All right. So that's as mixed as I need it. Now I'm going to add in for you guys at home. Hello, Soap Wizard. Hello, Mr. Round of Applause. Good to see you. You do not need a lot of the cocoa powder. You're really using it to color the whipped body butter, and you're also using it to get some of that chocolate scent into the product. But with your cocoa butter, that's going to have a very, very strong scent anyway, so you don't need to worry too much about that. You don't need to worry too much about that. Now, because I don't have cocoa powder, I thought I did, I am substituting the cocoa powder for a brown mica powder. And so, I'm just going to dip that on in there, like so. Now, I am breaking a rule. And one rule, whenever you're making a product, is if you take a lid off of something... Hey, Paige! I'm a beater. Not really, but you know. Hold on 1 second. She's upstairs with roller skates on. I had to tell her, take those skates off. All right. So whenever you take a lid off of something, you always want to put that lid back on as soon as you have used the product, because otherwise there will be a spill. What's Murphy's Law? Anything that can go wrong will go wrong, and that is definitely the case with essential oil and colorants. So as you are using these things and after you are done with them, the next thing that you want to do is put the lid on it and get it out of your way. So this is going to go to a nice cocoa brown color. So we're faking our cocoa. Hey Drea, how are you with the wave over there? Good to see you, and thank you for joining us. Thanks for joining us. And we're just and as Paige would say, we are making a potion. Hey Sylvia, feel it in the house without a doubt. It's feel it in the house without a doubt. Okay, I do like this color. And I'm loving the subtle peppermint. It's a pretty strong peppermint. If you're using an essential oil, you don't need a lot. Essential oils are highly concentrated plants, or not plants, but it's the highly concentrated portion of the plant. So you really need a small amount that goes a very, very long way. And so that is pretty well as incorporated as I care for it to be. So I'm going to come right over here, and then I'm just going to use my spatula to encourage our butters to melt a little faster. A little faster. Now, the reason why we did this separate, you could have put it all in one container. It looks great to me. It does. That's the camera. Here, let me try and bring it up. And you'll see it when we take out our pre-made one. Let's see. Does that still look gray? It could be my camera, guys. Garden is finishing up, Mr. Round of Applause. We are finishing up because we're going into the fall. But we ended up with lavender, lemon balm, and mint. They were the only 3 out of all of the plants that I used that actually made it. Everything else, either the animals got to it or this green thumb didn't necessarily work out. So we're trying to wait for this. Wait, why isn't it on? Oh, shoot. There we go. I'm like, why isn't it boiling anymore? There we go. It came back on. Thank goodness. I'm like, that's a really dull boil we got happening. I think she still got those skates on, guys. I hear some rolling happening. Yes to me, or it could be my eyes. Thank you for the super heart, you for sight. I'm so glad you made it. I'm so glad you made it. All right. So now that we have gotten that. Oh, you know what? I did not. Boom. I forgot to share my own broadcast. If you are watching and you have not clicked that share button yet, make sure you click the share button so that other people can learn how to make their own bath and body care products. All right, so I'm going to take our pre-mixed coconut oil. I'm hoping you guys can see it and my hand doesn't cover it. And I'm going to pour that right into our melted cocoa butter and shea butter. Just like that. Then I'm going to use our spatula to try and get all of it, or as much as I can, out of the bowl. And you for sight, thank you very much for the super heart. I did see that come over. Yes to me, or it could be my eyes. Oh, the grayish brown situation that's happening. Maybe you'll be able to see it better now. It's going to a more golden. Can you guys see that? It's a very pretty shade. I just need it all to melt. Now, once this melts, you want to put it in the freezer, or you can put it in an ice bath so that it cools down. You want it to cool down so that you're able to whip it. Now, before this broadcast, I measured out all the ingredients. I did all of the calculations. I melted it, and now I have it sitting in the freezer. I'm just hoping that enough time went by that it actually looks black and gold. Maybe it will when we come back. So let me go and grab it out of the freezer. And in the meantime, I'm going to give you guys a quick commercial break. Okay, we are back. That is the Baraka video, guys. So I have to move this over without burning my hands. I didn't think this part through. This is what happens when you create your own faux kitchen in a soap studio. Sometimes it's not really supposed to work out. It's not going to work out the way you think it's going to. So we have now this looks a completely different shade. We should be able to whip it. I would prefer that it was a little more. Oh, maybe. Maybe I left it in the freezer too long, guys. We'll see what we get. As Paige has said, we get what we get and we don't get upset. That was her lesson at school today. I said, so what didn't you like about what they gave you? Hey, Ali, I didn't see you sneak in there. Very good to see you, my dear. Very good to have you. I don't know why the color went that color. It's definitely not brown. So we're going to take this out and we're going to set it aside. Can't hear me and see me. You can hear me because it looks like the sound is working okay. Was that a spell check, or are you saying that we have some technical difficulties? Are you saying we got some technical issues going on? I'm hoping not. I'm hoping that's not the case. I can't see it either. I'm going to move this just so we have more space. Hey, Kita! Laura was looking for you. Are you on your way back? Or are you still handling business? Let's see. You hear and see me working. There's cousin, guys. You guys were asking about her. She might be like incognito. All right, so now we're going to attempt to whip this baby. I'm a little concerned because it's kind of sort of frozen, but not really. Looking fabulous on YouTube. All bases covered. Thank you for running the bases, you for say. Thank you for running the bases. All right, I kind of feel like I want to scrape. Yeah. I left it in the freezer. It takes too long. You only got to put it in there for about 10 minutes, guys. I had it in there for a little longer than that. So we're going to whip this at this point. Or attempt to, anyway. You can't see. Okay, so I gotta use our spatula because there's a piece right over here that isn't whipping. But can you see that amazing color? And let me just pull you guys up there. Kita is saying hi to all of you. Lorraine is saying hey. But can you see it's going from this, I don't really know how to describe that color. It's a really dark brown. It looks like something I wouldn't want to use. But when we go to whip it, it changes the consistency. So let's grab our hand mixer. We're going to turn that up again. Here's a little bit of ASMR for some of you. Oh, and that peppermint and chocolate mixed together are incredible. You know what it reminds me of? Peppermint patty. If you have ever had a peppermint patty, that's what this smells like. I'm telling you, it's amazing. All right, so I believe we still have some pieces that are on the side that are still solid. So I want to use our spatula to pull those into the fold here and get it all whipped together. So if you are just now joining, cute table. Well, I'm destroying it. I'm destroying the table cover. But that's our logo right down there. So I got to get like a little plastic covering to go over it. But if you are just now joining us, I'm Zakia Ringgold of LiveSoapSchool.com. And we are doing a Baraka Shea Butter recipe. This actually comes from their website. And it is our chocolate mint, not foaming, body butter. And so I put our mixture, so I could have a little bit of live stream magic going on. I put our mixture of melted oils and butters in the freezer, but I put it in there a little too long. So cocoa butter gets really solid at room temperature. You only got to put it in there for about 10, maybe 15 minutes just to get it solid so that you're able to whip it up. So what I'm doing is I'm just scraping it off of the sides of the bowl so that I can make sure that everything gets whipped together. And then you can use this body butter on your entire body. Now, because I added color and not necessarily cocoa, I wouldn't put it on the face. And I also have peppermint essential oil in here is another thing I wouldn't put on the face. But you can definitely use this from the neck down. All right. So let's give it one more whip because I like it nice and buttery. You could whip this a little bit longer if you don't want any chunks in it whatsoever. Loving Me for Life says, ba-da-ba-ba-ba, she's loving it. You could whip it for a little bit longer to get rid of any of the chunks. Looking good from Baraka Shea Butter in Australia. Well, hello. Thank you so much for tuning in and checking us out live. So here is our peppermint patty. That's what I'm calling it. We've changed the name like 16 times. But this reminds me of the smell of peppermint patty. You have that combination of the peppermint essential oil and then the cocoa butter. Those two combined are fantastic. So you get the chocolate scent and then you also get the peppermint scent. So I'm going to take our spoon and I'm going to, look, can you guys see that consistency? Yes, honey. Whip it. Whipped cream. I'm gonna have it all over my fingers because we want to actually try and pipe this without making a huge mess. I do make a mess whenever I pipe. I do now have a lotion filling machine, but this is too small of a quantity. Cousin is going to be our tester for this and let us know how she loves it. And if she loves it, we might make it in a larger quantity. It's probably not going to be enough, but we're going to make it enough. You get yourself your container. Just like that. I'm going to put that right there. You should have it all the way sealed. I don't have it sealed. So we're going to have a mess on our hands in a second. But in the meantime, we're going to clip the end of the sandwich. And this is just a sandwich bag. So if you don't have a piping bag, don't worry about it. And then you take that and you squeeze it into your container. And you have got yourself an amazing handmade body butter. Can you guys see that? That lighting is a little bad over here. And then you just take it, you rub it right on your skin. And because we have the cocoa butter, we have the shea butter, we have olive oil in here as well. All of those are ingredients that love to go right into the skin. Even though there's no water added, is there some type of shelf life for body butters? Very good question, Sylvia. So you would go by whatever has the shortest shelf life of the oils and the butters that you have used. So when we look at shea butter and cocoa butter, you typically have a 2 to 3 year shelf life. Olive oil, I believe that one also has a 2-year shelf life. Peppermint essential oil, 2 years. Let me see. So I would err on the side of a year and a half. I would say 18 months is what the shelf life of this would be. But if you were to use something like a grapeseed oil, which has like a 6-month shelf life, that's going to shorten the lifespan of your body butter, because those oils are typically going to go bad pretty quickly, or not bad, but they go rancid faster than the cocoa butter and the shea butter. And the reason that shea butter and cocoa butter last so long is they are unsaturated fatty acids, or they're saturated. So there's not a lot of room for air and whatnot to get in there. One thing that you could use instead of a preservative, this would be a good instance of using an antioxidant. So antioxidants help your products from actually oxidizing fairly quickly. So that's something you could consider. So Contradictions has given us a hand clap, a hand clap. If you would like to try this recipe yourself, the recipe is available. I'm going to pull that right up again, right here. If you head over to Shore.b, or it's shore.b/live school, live soap school, all of the recipes that we have done are listed there. And you'll be able to see the video tutorials as well as each of the ingredients that you will need, the ingredients and all of that. So I am Zakia Ringgold of Live Soap School, with a special thank you to Baraka Shea Butter for sponsoring this broadcast. Guys, if you are looking for body butter, LOL, if you are looking for some incredible shea butter, really head over to barakasheabutter.com. They get their shea butter directly from Ghana. It is made with the traditional handcrafted way of making shea butter. It is unrefined, and every dollar spent, you are making an impact on the women in the communities of the people who make the shea butter. So I'm Zakia Ringgold, wishing you all a great day, great night, great afternoon, depending on when you catch this. And be sure to like, share, comment, subscribe, follow, whatever it is that you need to do wherever you are, so that you stay connected every single time that we go live. Bye, everybody.